Right, welcome to Stress Month. I'm chatting with Jo Howarth. Jo, do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we will move on to stress?
Yeah, so I'm Jo Howarth, and by trade, I'm an advanced hypnotherapist and a mindfulness practitioner. Stress is one of my specialisms because I used to experience it hugely. I run a company called the Happiness Club, which is a membership that helps people look after their mental health. And obviously, I work with people one-to-one and in a group program as well.
Awesome. So I'm going to make note of the fact that you've got tinsel up. I'm going to refer to Christmas.
Okay.
It's stressful.
Yes, it is. Bless us, it is one of the most stressful times of the year, at the same time as being one of the most enjoyable and fun times of the year. It actually is. We put a ridiculous amount of pressure on ourselves, and that's all that stress is. You know, stress is an uber an uber amount of pressure. When I talk to people about stress, I use an analogy that a friend of mine who runs the Stress Management Society, he taught me this and then gave me permission to use it in our workshops and stuff. But he uses the analogy of a bridge, right? So you imagine a bridge first thing in the morning, and then some cars go across the bridge, and then more cars, and soon you've got a traffic jam. And then some lorries come along, and they see the kerfuffle on the bridge and they want to join in. So then they jump on top of the cars. So now you've got some lorries on top of the cars on top of the bridge. And the bridge is over a river. So the next thing that comes along is a cruise ship, and it sees the kerfuffle on the bridge and it decides it wants to join in. So it jumps up on top of the lorries, on top of the cars, on top of the bridge. And you're near an airport. So some 747s fly overhead and they see the kerfuffle on the bridge and they want to join in. So now you have some planes on top of your ship, on top of your lorries, on top of your cars, on top of your bridge. And he says, you know, eventually, obviously, if that carries on, at some point, the bridge will collapse under the sheer weight of it. It's going to show us some signs that it's about to collapse. There'll be some creaking and some groaning and some bowing and some buckling, but eventually it will collapse. And we're exactly the same. We pile things on ourselves, and we allow other people to pile things on us, and we fill our bridges up. And if we continue to put that much pressure on, that much weight, at some point we'll collapse. We're going to show some signs that we're about to collapse, but eventually, if we don't take that pressure off, we don't move that traffic on, we will collapse too. I mean, when I first heard him do that analogy, I was like, perfect, beautiful way to describe it. Love it.
And I think many of us are guilty of not heeding the moments when the bridge starts to groan and buckle. We sort of think, oh, no, I can carry on, it's fine.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing. I mean, one of the things that I teach people to do is not to wait until, obviously, not to wait till that point where the bridge is freaking collapsing, right? I'm trying very hard not to swear now because I swear like a trooper. But it's don't wait to that point, right? It baffles me as well. You know, we do things, bless us, we have, you know, we work for 3 months and then we take a week's holiday, and then we work for another 3 months and we take a week's holiday, and then we work for 6 months and we get to Christmas and we take Christmas off, and we get to the holiday and we go bleh, right? Because we've held it together for that however many months before we get that holiday. And I say to people, don't wait for your holiday to relax. The direct opposite to the physical stress response that your body experiences, the direct opposite to that is the relaxation response. I spend most of my life these days talking to people about relaxing and how to build that into your day on a consistent, constant basis, how to constantly bring yourself back and let go of the pressure and let yourself relax. Not wait for the weekend, not wait for that week's holiday, but do it all the time, consistently. So then you don't get to that point, or not as often, where your bridge feels like it's going to collapse.
I guess in doing that, you're accepting that stress is here. You know, we're not. I think sometimes you know, I'm sure we've all seen these articles of like, oh, reduce stress, just take some exercise and sleep more, and you're like, right. But actually having tools to manage it is what we need, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, exercise is absolutely one of the best stress relievers going, and can be completely free, which is a bargain, right? it basically, what happens when we get stressed is we go into the fight or flight response, which is a physical response that our body goes into, and certain things happen in our bodies. And one of the things that happens is that hormones, chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol get pumped into our system. What exercise does is burn those off. So instead of them continually being produced, if we're in a state of heightened stress, long-term heightened stress, they just are getting produced all the time, all the time, all the time. So exercise helps to burn those off. It is just the most beautiful stress reliever going. But actually also is relaxation, and this is the thing that I find most people struggle with, is allowing themselves to stop. Allowing themselves to stop doing and doing and doing and going and going and going. I say to people, look, if you keep going and going and going, you will break. So you need to take breaks regularly. It sounds like the simplest, most banal thing, but it's something loads of people really struggle with, just even taking a regular 5-minute break throughout their day, just to give themselves that headspace.
So let's say somebody has got to the point where they have managed to find these 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever throughout, at moments through the day. How do you encourage people to relax and to manage that stress better?
Okay, so one of the key techniques that I teach is I ask people to find somewhere comfy to sit, to set a timer on their phone for 1 minute, or their tablet or their watch, whatever, for 1 minute, right? Close their eyes, and for that 1 minute, put all of their focus on their breath. So just pay attention to every breath in and every breath out. And they'll probably get to about 3 or 4 breaths before their mind starts to wander off again. And that's fine, because that's what your mind is made to do. It's made to think, so allow it to do its job. But when you notice that you've wandered off, just allow those thoughts to drift and just purposely bring your focus back to your breath. And you'll wander off again and bring it back to your breath. And just to do that for 1 minute, even if you just did it for 1 minute a day, what that's doing is bringing you straight into the present moment instead of in the past or the future, which is where a lot of our thinking is. So it's bringing you straight into the present moment. It's giving you that ability to start focusing on your breathing, on giving your breathing your attention. So a lot of people, and I do teach, long deep breaths and all of that, but when you're in a heightened state of stress or anxiety, actually it can be really freaking hard to take a long deep breath. So don't worry about doing a long deep breath, just focus on your breath. Notice what it's like, notice how it feels as it goes in. Notice how it feels as it comes out. Notice the temperature of the air, whatever you need to do to put your attention onto your breathing, right? And then I have clients that do that 1 minute multiple times a day. So I have clients that literally have an alarm on the hour every hour. And when it goes off, they stop and they do their 1 minute of everything. That's what I call it. And then they continue with their day. And then I have clients that do it for 1 minute and actually then felt okay, so they made it 2 minutes, and then they made it 3 minutes, and then they made it, and I say to them, when it gets to 5 minutes, that's officially called meditation. And it's just the most gorgeous way to start allowing yourself to build in those little moments of rest through your day. When I first started, when I was training in mindfulness, I had to do like 40 minutes of this meditation and 20 minutes of that meditation and 10 minutes of these techniques every day. And at the time, I just started my company. I had 2 children that were about this big, and a house to run, and a husband I like seeing. And I was trying to find 2 hours a day to practice this mindfulness stuff. And I kept at it because I knew it was going to help me personally and professionally. But as soon as I qualified, I was like, I cannot, in all conscience, teach people in this world that we live in to go home and meditate for 45 minutes. No. It would be the best thing they would ever do for themselves, but half of them would never even try it because they haven't got time. The excuse that we haven't got time is already there. And so I thought, right, what can I do? I was like, right, I'm going to teach them to do it in 1 minute flat, because everybody, you've got a minute. Yeah, everybody's got 1 minute.
And actually trying to find another 45 minutes just adds to the stress, doesn't it? It's yet another thing landing on that bridge. You're just like, right, brilliant, a helicopter's arrived now. Brilliant, because I've now got to find these 45 minutes as well.
Yes, that's it, totally. And that's the thing, and that's part of the thing with, you know, I mean, I'm guilty of this because I do teach people tools and techniques to use through their day, but actually sometimes that can just add to, oh shit, I haven't done this gratitude exercise, and I haven't done this exercise, and it just adds to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And when people are in that place, you know, the only thing I say to them is, please rest. And we really struggle to do it. We feel guilty for stopping. We feel guilty for not doing. We feel bad. We feel like we shouldn't be sitting down and doing nothing, which is why I just started with the 1 minute, because, you know, and part of the reason for that is because, like I say, when I was training, I had 2 toddlers running around me. I literally sometimes only got 1 minute.
Yeah.
I would sit down to do the 20-minute meditation and I'd do it for 1 minute. But even that 1 minute helps. And what you're doing, the more you can build that 1 minute into your day, what you're doing is learning step by step, which is how I teach people, step by step, bit by bit, to stop and to let yourself and to allow yourself. And we can do it for 1 minute. So then actually, maybe we can make it 2 minutes. And then actually, maybe we can make it 3 minutes, right? It gets easier and easier then.
Yeah. It's very much the same principle I work on with my clients. I often work with clients who don't move, and they come to me because they want to start moving, and you know they're totally daunted by the idea that a gym class is an hour, understandably. And so we start with, like, you know, while the kettle is boiling, move a bit.
Yes.
Or put on your favorite song, and for the duration of that song, or whatever, and it doesn't matter. But it's, to me, this absolutely ties in with what you're saying. Is this more than you were doing yesterday towards your well-being? In which case, it's perfect.
Yeah, completely. And that's it. And I think, especially in this day and age, it has to be that step-by-step approach. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the Happiness Club exists, because we send the members out a daily strategy every day, and it's just a little bite-sized something. Just have a go at this today. Try this today. And it's just one thing every day that they can have a go at, or think about, or ponder. And what happens is, over time, over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever, it completely changes the way they think about life, themselves, the universe. It helps them, but they hardly even notice that it's happening, because it's just a little bit every single day. And I mean, that's beautiful what you're teaching, you know, that just do this today, and then tomorrow just do that, and then tomorrow just do that. And eventually I'm noticing it at the moment. We got a puppy about 6 months ago, and I've been trying to lose a stone in weight for the last, oh God, since the pandemic started, easily. And it's dropping off me now because I'm walking him for 45 minutes every day. So, and it's effortless. But I started off, because he was a puppy, started off walking him for 5 minutes a day, then 10 minutes, then 50, and we're up to 45 minutes now, because I was told 5 minutes a month, whatever, for however old he is. So we're up to 45 minutes. So now I go out for a proper romp with him, and I've lost half a stone in like a month. But that's the same kind of process. It's the same kind of thinking. It's a little bit. Just stop putting pressure on yourself to have to do all of it, or to have to relax all of the things all at once. Just do a little bit every day.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jo.
You're very welcome.